GOAT with 6 NBA losses, finals losses. He cannot.
That's not true. Because we don't know what Jordan would have done had he stayed in the league longer. He let Phil Jackson play him and convince him to leave. So we don't know, because again, that's part of the GOAT talk, is his endurance and his consistency and how many games he plays. And as you know, Michael Jordan, as you can see with his recent interviews and these like red eyes, wasn't really taking care of his body. And everything about LeBron, from the amount of money that he invests into his body to allow him to play at this level at year 17, we don't know what Jordan would have done in year 10, year 11, year 12, if his body would have started breaking down. And we also don't know how many losses he would have had, how many times he made it and then didn't make it. We don't know that because his career didn't last as long. And for that simple fact, again, put him in the GOAT conversation, because doing anything for 17 years in a row is difficult, let alone being a professional athlete. Like, give that man some props. And he is still physically dominant, because you watched the finals with me. Did you see the young man, Jimmy Butler, playing those same minutes? He over there tired. He was tired. He was exhausted. He didn't have anything more to give. And here you got the older man still running up and down the court, still making it happen, carrying the team on his back. Come on. I don't have to paint this picture.
You know what? You got a gift with your beauty and your tongue, man. You just made that shit sound so magnificent. And it was so much of a lock y'all talking about. If I just had some emojis going on in the background, BS. Oh, you made it sound so good. But we ain't gonna even talk about LeBron right now. We just gonna let that sit on the side.
Let it sit on the side. But yes, definitely. He's GOAT-ish. He's knocking on the door. Stop hating on that man.
I haven't been keeping up with the presidential thing because, for one, I don't know about how they do it in Cali, but these motherfuckers down here, don't you know they have the audacity to text me on my phone, Mr. Such and such, are you gonna vote? When I watched the NFL, and I'm Black Power like a motherfucker. I got my stance against the NFL, but my mom passed the Niners to me. I can't, you know what I'm saying? I can't just let football go. You feel me? But I be pissed off at them. I'm pissed off at basketball too. But every time I watch this shit, I'm reminded to vote.
Yeah.
Reminded to vote. And then I come to this. I swear, man, the South could be just like, what's the name of the movie? Get Out. You think I'm bullshit, man. Man, listen here. These motherfuckers come up to you. Did you vote? Are you make sure you're going to vote? Make sure you vote now. Are you voting? Are you voting? Who you voting for? Well, goddamn it, if I'm voting, what the fuck you need to know I'm going to vote for? Y'all know if I'm going to vote. Well, that's none of your business. I'm voting for Trump. Well, why you going to do that? Well, none of you got that business. Why you ask? You know what I'm saying, man? And it's like, they are acting like voting. It should, by law, by paper, which by laws written by men on paper don't mean much shit, but it's supposed to be on paper, whatever's written, whatever. If it's fulfilled, it's supposed to be a good thing, but if it's not, it's hypocrisy. And we done spent so many years. Hell, they even tell us, oh, your people died. They died, they got hung on trees. Just to vote. No, they was just killed. Don't you think? But like I said, down here, man, they just so brainwashing, conditioning, holding hands. You know what I mean?
Uh-oh.
And yeah, it's just a lot of that down. So what do you think about especially with the Black community, how they are pushing voting, but they not putting nothing into the community? All the little boys and girls clubs, that shit gone.
Right.
Do you remember that coming up when you was young? So a center somewhere you can go play. Hell, if your mom getting on your nerves, you can just leave.
Yeah. Right,
You
like
know?
the recreation center. But can I just say, I'll start it off by saying that I
Mhm.
think that there are two things can be true. And
Okay.
I think that there are mixed messages being sent, and I'm going to share what I think. But I remember on a different episode, if you will, we talked about not a boys and girls club or a community center, but we talked about parks like baseball diamonds just missing. And yeah, and so to say that they're missing makes it seem like it's this big mystery, but voting or not voting is the reason why we don't have boys and girls clubs and community centers or little league. So I think it's very dangerous to passionately empower Black people to withhold their vote without clarifying that statement with other action plans. I think a more accurate way to communicate to the Black community would be not to say voting doesn't matter. Maybe we should change it to one vote doesn't matter. And I do hate the way they put so much emphasis and so much pressure on this presidential election, and they don't put a lot of attention to the other elections because the other elections matter the most. They just do. By the time you're voting on president, it's almost too late. I mean, that isn't going to change anything because there are so many other things that touch us. And that's something that's at the federal level, it's at the top. But there are so many other things around us that touch us first that we need to be concerned with. And the other dangerous thing about don't vote is that to me signals that, you know, once you say that, if you say we're not going to participate in the society in which we all live, we're not going to participate to improve it, then to me that means that you have like boats lined up in the marina and you're going to take us to this new country. Because if you're not saying that, then what you're saying is I should abdicate all of my power, but continue to live in the society and have no say-so with what goes on. And that also doesn't seem right. So that concerns me. That concerns me. And then I will say, the thing is, we don't teach civics correctly in schools. Perhaps if we did, more people would understand the importance of civics because there isn't anything that we do. There isn't anything that we do that isn't touched by government. That's just the way that it is. I'm not saying that it's right and I'm not saying that it's wrong, but everything has to be voted on. The water that we drink, our lights, our power, our internet, the jobs that we have, the neighborhood that we live in, the stop sign, everything has to be voted on and can be changed. It's unfortunate if we don't educate ourselves and if we don't learn from our so-called enemy and empower ourselves to make a difference, because then we wouldn't have to have the situation of who you're going to vote for president. Instead, we would be talking about who do we vote into city council? Where's that office? What did they promise us? What are they delivering on? Who did they elect for sheriff? Who did we elect to Congress? Who did we elect as a senator? What bills are they sitting on? Who is in our state legislature? What bills are they voting on? How are they spending money? Who's getting money? Who's allocating money for this? Who's getting money for the airport contracts? Who is determining which minority businesses, or if minority businesses get contracts? Who's determining how many new buildings are going to be built in the city? All of that gets voted on. Voting absolutely matters. It's just that one vote doesn't matter. I don't care who you vote for president. It's too late. I care about all the other 464 votes that you would have needed to make within a 2-year span. I also think it's easy to say, I'm not going to vote. My vote doesn't matter. I think that's very easy to say. To the point of our ancestors who are no longer with us and who did understand the importance of voting because they were not allowed to vote, And anything that someone is trying to take from you, they're trying to take it for a reason. Whether it's, I don't want to teach you how to read because knowledge is power, or I don't want you to vote. Anytime somebody is trying to take it or suppress it, you better figure out why. The other part of it is, again, just being informed, and the power of our ancestors dressing up and going to go vote because it was important to them means that all the way building up to it, they had conversations about candidates, they were involved in local government, they sat at the kitchen table talk, and it was fights and debates over cards, over dominoes, who you gonna vote for and why, and we were informed. All of that goes out the window with just easily saying, I'm not going to vote because it doesn't make a difference. You say the statement, and almost 90% of people who say that to you, even if they were going to vote, they don't know what any of the measures mean. They aren't keeping up with their own civic responsibility. And, you know, let's just call a thing a thing. Unless you're going to move out of this country, why wouldn't you be involved in the very thing that you must abide by? We're not sovereign individuals in this country. So why not take part in legislation? This has been a rant by
Well, you know,
and I'm gonna put my
no.
This just
This is excellent because it's good dialogue. Excellent. Because you have a lot of men, especially like me, who feel if you do go vote, and like you said, you need to be informed on what you need to vote about. And you got to have a list. My candidate need to do this. And if he can't do that for me, you're not gonna get that.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. And not only that, once whoever's elected, what's the plan to go check on this person? And are you delivering? And then if not, who's supporting you? And what businesses do they own? Or in their little stock portfolio, what businesses are attributing to their wealth? Because we're no longer going to shop there, right? You have a lobbyist that support different candidates, and they promise this and they promise that, but really the lobbyists are saying, hey, I represent this particular company and I want you to vote so that we get regulations and tax cuts. And that doesn't help our community. It's no problem. All of that is public record. Where's the information for making sure our vote does count? If your vote doesn't count, that's your fault, because you need to be tracing the vote. You need to be moving ahead and saying, once we have you in office, if you don't do something for us, then everything that you rely on economically, we're going to boycott our resources. We're going to take that from you. You make your money because you have, you know, I hate to just name any company, but, you know, Walmart's invested in you, you know, Big Pharma's invested in you, then we're going to stop spending our money there. We have economic power. We do. You know, it's up to us to use it. It's up to us to use it and to hold our elected officials responsible. But like I said, everything from who your sheriff is to how police officers are hired to how much they get paid, all of that has to be voted on. You don't like what's happening? Vote them out. Vote them out. Vote them out and withhold your money.
This is good teaching, everybody. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe. This is Mickey, man. This is excellent, man. Hey, so for the switch gears right quick. Now this may be touchy with you because we talked about this. But it kind of bothered me to it a little bit. Now, are you familiar with Young Jeezy?
Yes, the rapper. I love Jeezy. Yeah.
You know about the woman?
I don't know if he has new music, but I definitely, come on. The Snowman era was in my heyday.
Oh yeah, his new music. Oh, come see, come saw. No. No.
He fell off a little bit. Oh, it happens.
No. But yeah. you know who he's dating, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay. They're about to get married. Yeah, they're about to get married.
Yes, I heard. Yeah.
Okay. And she told everybody on her little show, her little panel, that she had, turbulence coming up when she was young. The mother always been a dominant individual in the house, making decisions for the husband, that, I already know, right?
Yeah.
And so she said she's the owner of her own business, her own lawyer, whatnot, and it could be a stressful thing.
Yeah.
So when she decides to marry Jeezy, she said she wanted to submit to her husband, not be beneath him, not be beneath his foot, not Mr. Jeezy, nothing like that, but submit to him, take advice from him.
Right.
Something like that, to see for his advice on what she got cooking. And he'd be like, well, baby, could you do it this way?
Yeah.
Oh, baby, I like the way you gave it to me. Okay, we'll do it this way, baby. Oh, okay, do it. You know what I'm saying? That's submission, not bow down to me. Well, when she laid it all out there right there, I'm looking at the comments, right? And I love my sisters. I love my sisters. I love them. I love y'all. I love y'all to death. God damn it, I love you.
But come on with it.
Man, they were going ham, talking about, no, you don't need to be submissive to him. Especially Lonnie Love. She looking like she having diabetes and everything else going on. Talking about, no, that's a horrible idea. You don't need to submit to that man. No. But hold on, you submit to a European. You submit to an Italian man. You submit to something else. But as soon as a brother trying to be righteous, he ain't demanding on that girl. And you have a problem with the wife being submissive to the man. What's up with that? And I'm talking about 97% of the comments. And man, it almost had me in tears. And it was sisters.
Yeah.
It was sisters.
I believe it.
They was against it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
this may be an unpopular opinion. This may be an unpopular opinion, but I must be truthful. Otherwise, I must be truthful. Otherwise, it can't be a Miss Cotton and conversation if I can't be Miss Cotton.
Hold on one second. Hold on one second.
Okay. Let me just say that I have stated.
Can you see me?
Oh, you say hold on. No, I can't see you.
No, can you see me?
No, you disappeared. What happened? Don't run from this.
No, you see Batman, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. Go ahead, cook.
This may be an unpopular opinion, but let me just say that I have stated several times on this platform through this little thing that we do, that we've been doing for a few weeks now. I've stated several times that I have a traditional home. And so I tend to agree with Jeannie Mai. And I know that that is an unpopular opinion. And I will say that it's not necessarily for religious reasons. It's not like I'm taking it out of the Bible. I'm not going to say that. To me, it's just common sense and it's just biology. Once you sort of break it down to how we're relating to each other in this society as a man and a woman, and sort of just breaking that down to yin and yang and just energies, it only makes sense that one of the energies needs to be masculine and the other energy needs to be feminine. And I'm not even bringing in assigned genders to that. I'm not even saying man and woman. I'm saying the energy of yin and yang, the energy of man and woman. And within that, one needs to be receptive and one of them needs to be the outward energy. One of them needs to be feminine. One of them needs to be masculine. One of them needs to be submissive and the other one does need to be dominant. And I just think that that's just common sense. That's just nature. That's what it is. That's what keeps everything in balance. I also just believe in observing to understand yourself, observe things that are like you. So when we observe the animal kingdom, and you see why the lion is the king of the jungle. And I just know that if we didn't make up the world that we live in, if society broke down and we just had to survive, okay, and you had men, male species, and female species, which one would just naturally be dominant? Because that's the way they were created. So I don't feel the need to disrupt that balance. I think that that should be mirrored in the home. And that's just the way it is. That's just the way it is in my home. And that's just what I prefer. This person was built to lead and be the dominant figure, and they're going to be the spokesperson for the family. And that's just the way it is. And she tried to clarify it with, it doesn't mean that I feel lesser than, it doesn't mean that I have less power. It doesn't mean that I'm not involved in the decision making. It just means that, again, if all this shit that we made up went away, right? Because all of this is made up, the homes we live in, the little lives we leave, that's society, we made it up. I'm just talking about if we just had to go out and survive, I physically would need to depend on this person to protect me and my child. I would just depend on the person to protect me from being killed. That's just it. I don't really understand what she said that was so wrong. Unfortunately, I do think a lot of the women, especially Black women that had a problem with it, are either one, divorcing from the church, and so all they saw was scripture, like, no, that's not true, you don't have to be submissive, that's in the Bible, that's crazy, and the Bible is the slave man's religion. And then the other half of it is the side effect of the systematic breakdown of the Black family unit, where a lot of women, Black women, did grow up in single family homes where there is no father, so they're not very clear on what a man's role is in the home. And how could you be if you didn't grow up with, a father, and where the son maybe had to be the man, and that's not natural. You don't know what that's like. And so you do take on this role of, I can be the dominant figure, and I can be the person, and I don't need to submit. I don't see what that looks like in a family structure. I don't see the point of it. And I think that's unfortunate. I think that's unfortunate because I think that, Black wealth is going to come when we rebuild the family unit. I think if we didn't need both energies, then they wouldn't exist. But yin and yang does exist. You need both. One of them has to give while you get. One of them has to be submissive, and it is the feminine energy. And that's just how I feel. I know it's unpopular, and if you don't like it, that's okay. You can leave a comment and disagree with me. That's all right. But that's how I feel. That's how I feel.
Wow. So and another part, I was probably thinking that sister was probably tripping because she's, what is she, Asian? I don't want to be, what is she? I know she's of the Asian descent, but I don't know exactly.
Yes, you're right. I don't know her. I want to say Vietnamese, but I don't know. But I do know clearly she is of Asian descent. And yeah, there's that stereotype that when Black men step outside of their culture, they do so because they want a more submissive woman. And again, I think two things can be true at the same time. I'm obviously opinionated and I'm obviously strong-willed. It doesn't mean that I can't also be submissive. Those are two different things. I talk a lot, I have an opinion, and I'm like that all of the time. It doesn't mean that we have to change our vibrancy. We have to take the bass out of our voice and that we don't have an opinion. I don't think people truly understood what she meant by submitting. I really don't think she understood that. But yeah, sometimes you got to just say what it is. She described what goes on in her home. And I think for my sisters out there that think that, the stereotype of Asian women being submissive, I think that you let Hollywood allow you to believe that submissive means, yes, sir, yes, I will not say anything, I'm in the corner. Yes, sir. That's not what it means to be submissive. Doesn't mean you're a doormat to be submissive. Those are two different things. A doormat is a doormat, but to submit to a man is different. Like, it's not the same thing. I'm serious. I think that they're thinking of it like, oh, he got with a white girl or he got with an Asian woman so they could tell them what to do. trust me, there's plenty of mealy-mouthed Black women that will allow you to be a doormat, and it still has nothing to do with being submissive. It's just a different thing. But very hard to describe, again, to a woman that doesn't see a need for a man.
I couldn't be a male chauvinist or whatever and just be like, I don't need a woman, man. The minister put it like this: to have heaven is to have a woman. That is to have heaven on earth. You go to work, as soon as a Black man go out them doors, he's getting faced hell left and right.
Yep.
Left and right on the job from individuals.
Yeah.
And when he come home, he got himself a woman, he got heaven.
Yeah.
You know, you can smell them biscuits getting cooked. When you hit the door, you can smell whatever's cooking. Got the bath water running. The new video game laying on the corner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's heaven.
Yeah.
And then she got something for you later on. You can do what it do. You feel me?
Yeah, like, yeah. Again, it's just about energy for me, the complementary energy, because clearly men are wired differently than women. And the way that men are wired is the way that men are wired. And if you want the energy to not only sync with each other, but sort of glow and grow, you know, each energy has to come together in balance. And then when it's in balance, you could just rise and rise, and it's better for the man and it's better for the woman. Because as women, we are wired a particular way. We see the world one way, and we'll do okay by ourselves, just like men will be okay by themselves. But when you introduce the opposite energy, it completes you or complements you in a way that you really didn't understand until you get that opposite energy and you're allowed to move in the world differently. It's like you're saying, as a man, it's the feeling of comfort or shelter from the world. And I will say, as a woman, it does feel a little bit like security and protection. Like I will say that, you know, having a man around just does feel different. Even if you have a gun locked away safely in a box, even if you can protect yourself, even if you can fight, even if you live in a secure neighborhood and you have cameras, it's nothing like having a man at home. It's just a feeling. It is just a feeling, you know, it just is. Not to say that the only reason why you would want a man is for protection and to take out the trash, but to say that it is the energy, it's the energy that complements each other, and that there's just natural roles both in society, and then just the fact that we are creatures on earth. There's just a natural energy that we have moving through this world. One needs the other. And if you didn't need the other, then we wouldn't come together to create more of us. That just is what it is. You need this and you need that. And I will also say, in not the way that I'm looking at the role submissive, my mother, quick story, my mother was telling me this story about her good girlfriend, and she was so proud of her son who recently became a fireman. And he was saying that he had a young lady, but that he liked the young lady, his girlfriend, but he wasn't sure if he wanted to marry her because she was like not doing anything with her life, really. And I said to myself, but the interesting thing is, he doesn't really know what's going to be good for him, because he actually does need a stay-at-home wife who is interested in holding down the house and having him some babies for him. Because can you imagine if he had a woman that was very, very business minded or goal oriented, to the point where she wanted to be a lawyer, she wanted to be a doctor, and equally be away from the home, and he's a fireman and they live away from the home for 2-3 days? That's not even fair to the children that come into that home. Like, people need to know who they match up with. So submissive in one household looks different than submissive in another household, where, you know, somebody got to take care of the home in that situation. If you're a fireman and you're gone 3-4 days a week, and I'm gone 4 or 5 days a week, who's gonna take care of these kids?
What's the little robot off Jetsons? Is it Rosie?
Oh, Rosie will take care of the kids. Well, yeah, that's true. Or nannies, that's true.
You got the internet now. I mean, hell, why not? The internet take care of the kids anyway. Shit.
No comment. No comment.
You know what? You are very, not only you're articulate, you know, but you're very spiritual.
I am.
Do you have a base?
I do. I feel like I was raised traditional Christian, and something didn't sit right with my spirit. And so then I tapped on to the other side, and I was very interested in Catholicism. Like I was super, super religious, like right around college. But then I went through another transformation also in college, which was just a good experience for me and really for any child, because that's the moment when you change from child, teen, to young woman. And so in defining who I was and discovering who I was, I couldn't put a name for what it was. Like, I'm not really religious. I don't really like believe this, and that. Now that I'm a scholar, I understand that this book is just an interpretation and that there are other historical pieces. So as my knowledge is growing, I'm divorcing religion, but understanding for sure about spirit and about energy and about just even letting go and but being and floating through life and manifesting and understanding that at an early age, like, wow, if I think about something or want something really bad, I get it. And not knowing what that was, I just thought I was like a lucky girl. But like, oh, later on understanding, no, that's called manifesting, that's called using the law of attraction. And that's why that happened. And that's why if you focus on something and focus on it and draw that energy to it, it comes to you effortlessly. So just being in a position to be able to apply scholarship to a deep feeling and being curious and giving myself that freedom to walk away from formal religion and into spirituality. Because to me, I think that's almost the purpose of everyone's life journey or your time here on earth. Why else would you be here but to relearn who you are? And that has to be a spiritual journey. It can't be a material journey. We just said, here we are paying athletes $200-300 million and they're still not happy. So it's not money, it's not material, it's not love the way we think of it. Then what is it? What are we here for? Just to relearn who we are, and then we transfer to another plane, maybe. I don't know.
And I tell you what, when people lose people in life, like I lost my mom when I was 13.
Oh,
and
that's hard.
when that happened to me, yeah, reality set in. I mean, Christmas, well, I don't fuck holidays anyway, but at that time, my mindset was like, it don't matter anyway. I don't have it. It don't matter.
Ooh, baby,
and when I used to see like my homeboys talk crazy to their mother, I used to get hot.
Oh, I know.
Oh, I used to be hot. You know what I'm saying? Because they didn't understand. She died the same day Magic Johnson announced he had AIDS.
Wow.
The same exact day. I went to school the same day. I was in shock. You hear me? I was torn. Just like, that Batman, Bruce Wayne's character, it is so true. You can have all that damn money in the world and be the richest motherfucker, but it don't mean shit.
No.
Because if you go past Batman's character, Bruce Wayne, he's a depressed individual. He's very depressed.
Very.
And he's trying to I'm doing all this trying to chase the high of having his parents back.
Trying to chase the high, but also to feel anything, to feel something. Yes, I think a lot of us are to the point where, we're numb because we're overstimulated or because we're in so much pain. But yeah. That's deep.
It is deep, and it's life changing. That's why I cherish every little moment, every day.
Yeah, as you should.
My son is 21 years old. Don't you know I still open the door and look at him as if he's still my baby?
Oh, I can only imagine. I couldn't know. People do not know really about that until you have your own kid. And
Exactly.
Regardless of the say it, but it's so true. You don't understand until you have your own kids, and then you're like, I literally tell people, why didn't you tell me? I would have popped out babies a long time ago. Like, why didn't you guys tell me? Because this it's a whole different thing. Like, yeah, like, oh my God.
No,
Right.
you learn the real meaning of sacrifice.
You do. And also of unconditional love. It may not be unconditional from the kid to you. It's definitely conditional because they're just trying to survive, and then they go through that teenage phase. And if you're unlucky, then they, whatever. So, but for you to experience what that means, no matter what, I don't care. Even if she grows up and goes through the unfortunate teen years, I'm still gonna just love her like she doesn't even understand how much I love her. Like, girl, you could not do anything to get me to stop loving you. In fact, if you sit still long enough, I might eat you. I love you so much. Like, I just want to gobble you up. Like, I just love her. Like, it just is just like, you don't even understand. Yeah.
Now, I'm glad you said that. Let me just drop a little wisdom on you.
Okay.
All that love you just had.
Yeah.
You know how girls don't have no edges? You know how some girls don't have no edges? It's thin.
Yeah, why?
It's a thin line between that love and that hate.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm hoping that I skip that curse.
I
I know it's hard.
Listen to me. If you any part of God now, you gonna get them attributes. You know how we is to God. Just just follow my lead, child. Do what I tell you to do. And guess what? When they lie to you and disobey you, you're gonna be so hot. I think you're gonna turn orange.
I know it. I already know it. Cause look, she's almost one. She's still just a baby, but it's then you start calling your own mom and telling your dad, I'm sorry, but I was a very good child. That was to a minimal. Of course, I lied and tried to get away with stuff like any human being, but not excessively so. And I'm still really close with my mom. Like, she's my best friend. So I'm hoping that I can continue it with my daughter, but you never know. I mean, you never know. And yeah, I already know that she's gonna disappoint me to the point where you're looking at her like, you lying your ass off. You gonna lie to me, and I change it.
Hey, they gonna become that now that Bernie Mac was talking about. You know that now, the MF now, they gonna become one quick. I mean, real quick.
Yeah.
I mean,
I know, but
I know I already know it's still like a little toy, like a new little toy. You just open up the present and Christmas.
No, she's showing me a glimpse of who she is. Like, we ain't the same person. She came from me, but she is her own person, honey. She is a Scorpio, and she is already showing me it ain't gonna go the way you think it's gonna go, because she's already like her own person. So I know it's not gonna be a cakewalk, but I don't care. So I told her, even when you sting me with your little stinger, with your little mean Scorpio ass, I'm still gonna love you.
Man, I know, man. And you know, having a child it's a gift from God. It's a gift from God, and you develop patience, wisdom, and you know, your tolerance of bullshit is gonna be very at a minimum.
That's true. You're right.
You're gonna become like God. You think I'm
creator?
The minister say when a baby, especially if you're giving your baby your breast, when the baby's crying, you know what this baby's saying? God. He calling out to his mama, but it's really God.
Right. Sustain me. Yes. Come on. Keep giving me life. I feel it. I feel it. You know, I had a baby late in life, and I didn't know what I was missing, but I was content to be fulfilled. I was content to, be okay, because of just my understanding of spirituality. What's meant for me is already mine, and you don't have to do anything extra to get what you're going to get. And so here I am, creeping up in age, until my eggs were almost scrambled. And I said, well, if I don't have my own kids, that's okay. I have 2 adorable nieces, and I love them very much. And I kind of get to parent adjacently. I love them. They love me. We have a good relationship. It'll be enough. It is not the same. And I'm just feel so happy that it worked out for me and that I was able to have kids, because it's almost like I didn't know that I would have never been fulfilled as a woman until I had kids. And it's just like a whole different thing. Like, oh, like I said, why didn't y'all tell me before? So I could pop me out about 4 or 5 of them already. But it's just a thing. It's just a thing. It's like, I was going to be happy. I was already like successful, and you know, I have lived 2, 3, 4, 5 lives. So I was going to be okay. Like, whatever. If I don't have kids, it's just fine. But no, like, I'm really glad. Like, man.
So hold on. Miss Cotton was out there. Was she wild? Oh no, not Miss Cotton.
I have lived, honey. Yes, I'm on my 4th life. Come on now. Yes. Uh-oh.
You know, you got like an Erykah Badu swag, but do you know who you really look like to me?
Oh no.
It's gonna trip you out. You're gonna laugh. I don't know if you got long hairs now, but it's not long. I just don't, perceive to be long, but
right. At least I have edges. I'm gonna pull it out for you. I'll pull it out next week for you. It's just braided up.
You know, you favor Cardi B.
That is an insult.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's this, not the nose, but you favor her.
Okay.
Yeah, plus do the accent thing. Yeah, I ain't saying you dress like her now.
Is it the Carmen Miranda shirt? I don't, because I mean, I don't really feel.
No, she's straight. She throws herself out there, and I think that's so trashy. But
that's what I'm saying. Like, okay.
No, but when you did an accent, you remember when you did an accent last video?
Uh-huh.
You favor her.
I mean, I'm gonna have to just take it. I'm just gonna have to take it and smile. Let's see. She's definitely just not anyone I look up to on any level. Even as like, oh wow, she has a no, I'm saying like, no, not even. It's not even the stripper thing, because I am not a hater like that. I'm just saying, like, her style or nothing about her, the way she wears her hair or even her makeup choices, to me, when I think of beauty, she just doesn't come to mind. But that's okay. If I look like her, I look like her. I'm happy with the way the creator created me, so I'm okay. But let me just say, like, I was born smart, like, just smart. You know, I'm not the smartest girl, but I'm smart. I always knew that I was academically inclined. I'm scholarly. Okay, so that's just my talent. That's what the Lord gave me. I don't have to try hard. I do well in academic settings. It's just I discovered that. But that's my talent. It's not a seat and it's not a seat for all the girls, and I feel, even though people and men and fathers are disappointed when their girls end up on the pole, it is still a talent, because not everybody can get their ass on a pole and do what she can do. Not everybody can attract men the way that she attracts men. Sexuality and being sensual is a talent, and it's also God-given. We can all take our clothes off, but some of us is not gonna look as attractive as she does, okay? So it is a talent. It is a talent.
She got incisions. That shit is fake. That's not real.
Ooh.
Fake shit. No, I like mine real.
I'm trying to get a girl great.
Small, a little bit. I got some cocoa butter,
I'm just saying that she may not be able to do what I can do, but I can't do what she can do. Even if I went out and bought some balloons and a butt and put it here and put it there, I can't do it, and it ain't for me. So that's okay. Like, just it is a talent. It's a talent.
And I've seen a couple of videos where they had some girls at the strip club. I don't know why. They want to get on the pole, and they had the cellulite thing, and it's flapping. It's flapping. They trying to clap the flab.
Like I said, everything ain't for everybody. That's what I'm talking about. See, that's what I'm saying. You could try it, right? Everybody can enroll in college. Doesn't mean you're gonna do well. Everyone can get on the strip pole, but it don't mean that you're gonna be good at it.
No.
I'm just trying to be positive about the situation. I don't even want to imagine it. All right, let's let's get down to two more meaty topics, because I have to tell you that I got a hater text from Mr. talking about, are we gonna eat dinner tonight? And now I feel awful.
What you plan on cooking?
Oh no. I just had to send a laugh emoji because that's just like the funniest thing in the world. Are we gonna eat dinner tonight, mama? Like,
Damn, time to move out that fast.
I know it did. Well, but that was we late because I'm late, but that's cool. It's cool.
No, but look what time it is though. An hour went by, hasn't it?
Yeah. Yep.
Wow. I mean, what do you cook on something for like? What do you got? What you got on your end?
That's your talent. See, that's what I'm saying. Everybody can get up here and talk, but not everybody can keep the conversation going. We've already crowned you. We have already crowned you the king moderator.
Well, I didn't know that was. I thought you had something. That's why you said two more times. But what do you think about?
Let's talk about the debates, because you did say.
That's great minds thinking alike. That's what I was about to ask you. Yeah, see, look. So what do you think about Kamala Harris saying what she said? Because I didn't watch the shit, but I just hear people at work talk about it. It's like, I already know you wanted to debate it at one time, so I already know you probably chopped up and dissected what she said. So you come in with what she said.
I know. I wanna like Kamala so bad. I really do. I wanna like her so bad. But being that she does represent this state, I didn't vote for her at the state level. And right when she was coming up in San Francisco, I was coming up in San Francisco. And we actually did cross paths and cross circles, just because, like I had already told you, I have already lived my life. I went to school in San Francisco. And so when she was coming up under Mayor Willie Brown at the time, I, for whatever reason, was, whatever reason, I'm just saying, I didn't like her then and I don't like her now. And I just hate that I feel uncomfortable with the choices that she made. I feel uncomfortable with how she identifies. I feel uncomfortable that she won't say that she will do something for Black people. I feel uncomfortable with that. I feel uncomfortable that she has put so many Black men in jail. I feel uncomfortable that she's running with a man that has put so many Black men in jail. I feel uncomfortable with that. I don't trust that they're going to carry through our agenda. And we already know that the Democratic Party is not the Black nationalist party. And it could be that the Republican Party is synonymous with the white nationalist party, but it's not the case with Democrats. And the danger of voting Democrat is that it doesn't automatically mean that they have Black people's interests at heart. So do what you will there, but I don't like the candidates that we have for president and for vice president. Because Biden is so old, a lot of the decisions may eventually fall onto Kamala. It could be that within his 4-year term, that he doesn't make it, that he passes and she would be the president. And I just don't trust with who she lays next to and the decisions that she's made in her career. I just don't trust that she has my best interest at heart, or the best interest for people that look like my partner, people that look like my my dad, my brother. I don't trust that she has our best interest and that she will in any way do anything to improve the lives of Black people. And I don't think there's anything wrong with saying that we want to support politicians that are going to actually improve the lives of Black people, not people of color, not minorities, Black people. And it just makes me very scary. She doesn't make me enthusiastic. I think she's a career politician. I know she's a career politician. And you can't trust these politicians. You just can't. You could trust them to be politicians, but, she's not the savior. Her being elected, Biden being elected, isn't going to change anything. In fact, our work is going to be 10 times as hard, because it's just a lot. It's just
question.
It's just a lot.
Do black people get Biden and Kamala Harris in?
I don't know. I want to throw that back to you, because I heard you say you were going to vote for Trump, and I hear that that's a big issue. I hear that Biden and Harris were so busy trying to pander to Black women that they have been neglecting the Black man, and that a lot of Black men are jumping ship. They're doing the Blexit that Candace Owens has been promoting, and that a lot of Black men are like, fuck y'all, and they, excuse my language, and they're going on over to the Trump side. So I don't know. You tell me, like, has she done enough to earn the Black vote? Have Biden and Harris secured the Black vote?
No, I feel ditto, mutual, the same way how you feel about Miss Harris. And as far as the Trump, I'm with the Ice Cube thing. I would go to Trump if I could present something for him, you know, a list. If he can touch on it, at least a little bit on it. I know he ain't gonna be able to fulfill all of it, you know, but at least if he addresses it and touch on some of it, and I can bring it back to the community, not me, you know, not personal, but back to the community, a little bit back to the community, I'm cool with it. Then I will roll with it like that. Yeah. But other than that, if it's with this shrewd attitude and you think you're finna give me $1,200, nah, nigga, that ain't gonna work.
You ain't never lie. Yeah, I mean, I don't agree 100% with either party. I do feel on the whole, I probably can push my interests further through Biden and Harris, meaning they won't select, from what they can control, they won't select as conservative judges. I think the scary part about what Cuba is trying to get done is that it is very, very economically sound. And of course, you can't divorce politics from economics. You cannot. But the danger there is we do tend to sort of ingratiate ourselves or mirror what it is that our oppressors are doing. And so what I'm saying is, if we don't, with systemic racism, if we don't change policy, if we don't get to the root of it, it doesn't matter if we make our financial positions better, because we're not addressing the bigger issue of the broken system of capitalism that really, really, really begs all of us to look very closely at, did slavery end? Or is it that this country is still only profitable because it is exploiting Black labor? Is it profitable at the top because these people are working for as little as you can pay them, AKA minimum wage? Because I understand that we may not be in shackles, and I understand that we're no longer working for free, but I also understand that you have a huge labor class whose labor is being exploited for minimum wage. And so when he comes to him with these economic demands, who is it really going to benefit? Are we just going to make a larger middle class, but still keep these poor people at the bottom? Because I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in, I can eat, but you can't eat. I'm not interested in that. I truly believe that is why, no matter how much money you get, it just like, that's why Batman can't sleep. He goes out and fights crime, because you can't isolate yourself in your mansion. Let me just give you chapter 8 of the book, okay, that I'm writing. I cannot enjoy my cheeseburger if it's 5 people looking at me hungry. I can't enjoy it. And I think if people would understand that concept, you can't insulate yourself. And as long as I get money, then I'll be okay, right? No, we have to change all of it. It don't make no sense that people work for 40, 50, 60 hours a week and still don't have money. That something is not right. That's systemic. That's at a policy level where we got to redo all this shit. And it ain't nothing on Ice Cube's list that really attends to that. It's just not. It puts more money, like he has access to money, so he's interested in more access to money. And a lot of Black people think that if they just had access to money, that life would change. But that isn't the problem, because then you just turn into a white person. So what you're saying is, it's not that Black people are being oppressed. You just want the opportunity to be white with a lot of money as long as you can exploit a labor class. That's not cool either. It ain't giving us money. That's not going to fix it. It's not going to fix it. If we all have money, then we just turn into you.
Boy, that is
big. You know, come on. If we're going to change it, we need to change it.
Real talk.
That's all I got. Ain't got no money. I'm so glad we got a chance to do this.
Yeah. One more thing we can cook on right quick. Just one more thing quick.
Okay.
What you think about my boys, man? You think they're gonna sit Garoppolo down?
He's hurt.
Shut up. Shut up.
Don't do a Kevin Durant. Sit him down and let him heal. Give him some time to heal, because I don't think in the history books that this season is going to be that important. I think get him healthy. I think get him healthy because it's just like they tried to rush Kevin coming back with the Warriors, trying to get that finals win, and he fucked around and really fucked himself off and had to sit down. Wait till that boy is really healed. Wait till he's really healed. And, you know, yeah.
He had 2 years off. He had 2 years off, didn't he?
But you see how he's not moving right.
No, I'm talking about Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant got 2 years. He had about 2 years off, haven't he?
But that's what I'm saying. If you don't sit Jimmy down and let him heal, then it's going to be like a Kevin Durant. Like your Achilles is very, you know, that's a very important injury. They have perfected the surgery now, but that can be career ending. And he had to take that time off. He had to take that time off because he was hurt and he went back too soon and re-injured it. So the last thing you want for Jimmy is for him to have a real serious injury where, you know, he can't perform. So I say just let him finish healing to when he feels mentally ready and physically ready. Because if your mental isn't right, as you know, you just, once again, law of attraction, if he's thinking about being hurt, getting hit, he gonna get hit. You know, because you're in your head, especially as a quarterback, you're in your head like, oh, damn, I don't want to get hit. I don't want to get hit. I don't want to get hit. But the only thing you'll return to you is getting hit.
She said mental. You mean the Clippers.
The who? The chokers?
The slippers.
The slippers?
Yeah.
Get out of here. Who? All right.
All right, baby. It's so lovely. Like, share, subscribe, y'all.
Yes, like, share, and subscribe, and we'll do this again. Peace, everybody.
Peace.